Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while since I've done some casting, but I'm finally back. I'm going to be doing a little bit more casting over the next couple of weeks. Today, I have a very special game for you guys. It is going to be Rain versus Soulkey in the unofficial third place match for the KSL. So, really looking forward to this one. Heard that it was actually a really great match. Somebody asked me to cast it in the Foreign Brood War channel. So, I am definitely looking forward to this. We're going to be watching it from Rain's point of view. It is going to be in the standard definition, unfortunately. For those of you that are... well, I guess technically this is remastered. It's just in the smaller aspect ratio. So, no problems with that. This is going to be a PVZ on... I believe this is... I actually don't remember which map this is. I can always look it up real quick. Should be in the KSL map pool, I'm sure. This is going to be Polaris Rhapsody, I think. Yeah. I haven't played much on Polaris Rhapsody. It is a very interesting map. One that is, it has really, really big mains, so lots of room to put buildings in, also lots of places to hide things, especially on that far corner in your main on the opposite side of your ramp. Very easy to sneak in drops over there. So always you're going to see these players looking for opportunities to drop their opponents in that area, try to abuse all of this space around the main with things like mutas, with things like Corsairs and Reavers. So it's going to be a very interesting match for sure. We're actually going to see a blind Nexus first coming out from Rain first. This is pretty risky in this matchup, considering that it's pretty much the go-to build these days for Zerg to go straight for the 9 overpool. But we do see that Rain is actually cutting his probes very early at 12, so he's being very, very careful about trying to get this forge up very quickly after the Nexus, making sure that he can build a cannon if he needs to, if he scouts an early pool. This may not necessarily be worth the investment, but it kind of is banking on the idea that Soulkey is going to play it a little bit more macro heavy, as Soulkey tends to do. So he's going to see the drone coming out, sees the natural, so at this point Rain is feeling pretty confident that is going to be the early lings. He's got to put down a cannon. He may have to pull 1 or 2 probes, but he only saw 2 lings coming out, so it's possible he can probably just block that with a probe and buy enough time for that cannon, so I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Gas already going down for Soulkey, so Rain actually reading this very nicely, sensing that his opponent's going to be going very macro heavy very early on. So he's got a couple of probes down here just to block, make sure that the lings don't get in very easily. And very nice job. That's actually a full wall right there. And he's got, ooh, that 1 probe may go down. And wow, Soulkey actually getting 2 lings into the main. This isn't the end of the world since it's only 2 lings, but it's definitely going to be an annoyance for Rain. And a player of Soulkey's caliber, it's going to be so obnoxious just trying to micro your probes around, trying to constantly keep moving. This can be very annoying, but he does kill 1 ling right off the bat, so very nice. That is going to make life a lot easier for him. He's just got to chase this ling away every once in a while. Ling's probably low enough that you can just chase it around with a probe at some point. But for right now, he's just trying to poke it every time it comes back in. The extra 5 damage that you get from it is well worth it every time it comes in and tries to poke a probe, because eventually it will wear down. Life regen won't be able to actually keep up with it. So yeah, actually, Rain does a great job of scouting this third base as well. Sees it up in the top right-hand corner. Kind of a weird island-type base there with 2 ramps on the low ground, leading down to the low ground where the base is. He's going to go ahead and send his first Zealot right away. Not really worrying about dealing with this ling in the main with it. He's actually looks like just going to put down a cannon and just not worry about it, because at this point it's pretty annoying. Actually, that's a pylon. My bad. So he's just going to continue to micro the probes. This is very, very intensive for Rain, but as I said, it is only 1 probe, so it's not the end of the world. Ling's already here for Soulkey, so Rain is going to have to try to micro this back, try to abuse the topography here, wedge that Zealot in a corner somewhere. This ling is still being just so annoying. If it were me, I already would have lost like 10 probes, but Rain is a pro, so no problem, no problem. Gonna be going for the fast Citadel of Dune to follow it up. If he goes for that gas at his natural, which appears he did, then we're definitely going to be seeing the fast DTs to follow up. So it's definitely going to be the Corsair play, as is pretty standard in this particular matchup at this point in time. Straight into those DTs, so he should be in pretty good shape. Another Zealot coming over here to harass the drones, and this is so annoying for Soulkey because he's constantly having to leave these lings behind. Gotta get one of the drones, maybe get this behind the mineral lines yet again, for Soulkey to separate his lings and deal with this cost efficiently. Is very annoying as a Zerg player. There's the Templar Archives, so DT's coming up pretty soon. First Corsair on the way. This first Corsair scout is really important. Wow. Oh, what an awesome read right now from Rain. Managed to just feel like there were a lot of links coming out, so he already built the extra cannons. He's gonna wall off with these probes. Very nice pull. He's gonna be okay for right now. He's gonna have to rebuild that gateway though for the tight wall off. Very nice, very nice. Wow, and Soulkey just staying aggressive. Oh, is there anything on the ramp to block? Oh, he does get a couple of probes in the way on time. Is he gonna be able to prevent all of them from getting in? Looks like one is going to get in. Again, not the end of the world, but this is a speed link now. This isn't a slow link, so it's gonna be much more obnoxious. He needs to re-wall that front, or else this is gonna continue to happen. He's got a cannon going down in the main, but he's got to keep it safe. He's got to surround it with probes at all times. The Corsair goes ahead and scouts. Doesn't look like he sees anything super interesting, so he's just going to pull his Corsairs back home for now. Cancels the cannon, but that's okay because he got all the lings. Very nicely done from Rain. Very good crisis management there. A lesser player would have just completely crumbled under that pressure. But you see, one of the biggest problems right now is he has the Templar Archives, but he doesn't have any gateways, so he actually can't build anything right now. It's a little bit annoying for him. He's going to have to play very defensively, play very safe. He's trying to get these cannons up in his main, but the Mutalisks are already here, already doing some harassment. He's got to micro around all of these Scourge, and oh, loses a couple of Corsairs, but he's going to keep his Corsairs mostly alive. And oh, that was a nice connection, but I think it's still not enough. Sunken over at the third for Soulkey. Soulkey's in pretty good shape right now. Rain just massively in trouble right now. Soulkey has been doing everything right so far this game, but it looks like Rain may have finally stabilized. He's got the cannons at the main, he's got the cannons at the natural, and he's starting to build up his Corsair count again, as well as the gateway count. There's still the danger of a big follow-up Hydra Ling bust coming in, but considering that the amount of Mutalisks, it's possible that Soulkey is really committing to this right now. Oh, loses another Corsair. That's not good at all. He really needs to keep this Corsair safe, but I guess he's just trying to bank up on getting all of this extra damage and more of those Mutalisks in the main. So Soulkey definitely getting very aggressive with the Mutaling, but the Corsair count is slowly getting up there. It's going to start getting stronger and stronger. Lots of Zealots coming out. It looks like he's just going to forego getting the Templar Archives, or the DTs right now, and just focus on getting a strong ground army to hold his front while he gets a lot of Corsairs to deal with these Mutalisks. Very nicely done. Once we get to 3 Corsairs, suddenly it becomes a lot scarier. It's once you get up to 5, I think, or 6, you can start one-shotting the Scourge pretty easily, so it's actually really nice. With +1, I think you only need 5. You need 6 with without it. Anyways, so we do have the Archon coming in. This is going to help dramatically in dealing with this. Very nicely done. He's going to wall in that probe there you saw. That's a wall in, so he can put that probe in the same subgroup as his Corsairs, keep them clumped up, makes it a lot easier to micro versus the Muta Scourge. Wow, Soulkey is continuing to push along with this Muta Scourge play right here, but with the second Archon coming out right now, this is pretty much held. You can't really deal with 2 Archons and this number of Corsairs with air. Soulkey really needs to be looking into getting a 4th base, starting to get into Lurkers and get a lot stronger army of a ground army. But so far, this is looking very nice for him in terms of map control. Corsairs are out now, gonna start doing some harassment. And this is just some really nifty footwork coming out from Rain. just trying to play really, really safe while getting damage in wherever he can. He's got to be very careful with the way that he moves these Archons around. Make sure they don't get picked off a whole bunch of free damage from these Beetles for free, but it looks like he might actually push down this quarter into the third base. This is a surprisingly strong army. A couple of Zealots with leg speed and 2 Archons is actually a nightmare to deal with early on as a Zerg player, but he's actually just going to be looking for Overlords and zoning with these Archons, so this is actually very nice. The main purpose of this attack is just to force out a whole bunch of units from Soulkey, maybe pick off a couple free Overlords. There are a few Overlords over here, so maybe a bit of a mistake here. Got to be very careful with these Corsairs, but so far he's doing a great job. These Zealots doing a lot of work though, and he's killed off all the Scourge, so at this point, free reign for these, and that's actually GG for Soulkey. Soulkey didn't get up the 4th base. Wow, great play from Rain. Incredible.